Turkey now, what's happening there? Well, Turkey's casting suspicions much further afield, it seems now, in the aftermath of that big failed coup. Now it's implicating its supposed NATO ally, the United States. With more is Lizzie Phelan.
Tensions are rapidly escalating between the US and Turkey. The latest that we have is the Turkish Justice Minister blaming none other than the US President Barack Obama for knowing about that failed coup attempt. He said he knew about the July 15th coup attempt, quote unquote, as much as he knows his own name, and added, "I'm sure that the US intelligence and US Secretary of State knew about it. I'm absolutely sure," he said. On top of that, today, a leading pro-government newspaper, Yeni Shafak, published a headline blaming US Commander General John F. Campbell of being one of the top figures behind the failed coup. This newspaper alleges that General Campbell handled some $2 billion of transactions via a Nigerian bank and used CIA connections to distribute those funds to pro-coup plotters. Now, these accusations are only going to stoke what seems to be rising anti-American sentiment in Turkey, to the extent that many last night were speculating that a fire that broke out near a NATO base in the western city of Izmir was an act of anti-American sabotage. And that fire comes after a temporary suspension of operations at the Incirlik base, which is the most important military base in Turkey for the United States. That prompted the Pentagon press secretary, Peter Cook, to say that the US can continue its operations in the region without the base.
Incirlik is obviously an important part of our military campaign, and we've used it very effectively. We were able to conduct the campaign previously without having Incirlik. We have the ability to adjust our operations in such a way that we can account for problems or delays there.
In another sign that relations are rapidly deteriorating between the US and Turkey, the Turkish foreign minister today warned the US that if it fails to extradite Fethullah Gulen, the Turkish cleric who's been in self-imposed exile in the US for many years, that Turkey accuses of being the main organizer of this failed coup, that relations between Turkey and the US would sour even further. He also said that the Turkish government is preparing to remove several ambassadors from their positions that he says were connected to that coup plot. So now we're waiting really to see what the response from the US will be to these very harsh statements and moves coming from the Turkish government.
Well, in the wake of the failed coup attempt in Turkey, the European Commission President said there'll be no EU membership for the country, but experts say Europe should be treading carefully here with Ankara.
European leaders like Juncker and others must really pay attention to the language they use toward Turkey at this very critical, at this very sensitive time. The leaders of the European Union must really stay a little calm and give a chance for Turkey to settle down. The timing of these criticisms must be formulated in more accommodating language, not just cutting Turkey off